What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So for this next horror trailer review reaction, we are taking a look at the film Echo Valley. Sydney Sweeney shows up at Julianne Moore's door covered in blood. Now this trailer dropped just a couple days ago, so we're doing our reaction to it this weekend. So like we normally do, we're going to jump into the article details, check out the trailer, and then give our final thoughts on this one before it happens to release. I imagine this one's going to release this year. I don't know, have no idea. This is the first bit of information I am seeing and hearing about this film called Echo Valley. So we're going to be learning about it at the same time if you also have not heard about it. So let's jump into the article details like we always do, and then let's see what we got. So who you risk everything for. I think this meant to say, would you risk everything for all you love? Julianne Moore and Sydney Sweeney star as mother and daughter bound by a dark secret in Echo Valley. The Apple original film will be released in select theaters and on Apple TV Plus on June 13th. So, okay, one thing I've noticed lately, especially with the film Wolf that had, I think it's called Wolf, with George Clooney and Brad Pitt. That one, if you all, and that's not a horror film, I'm just using that as an example because it was one of those films that was supposed to get this wide theatrical release, eventually didn't. It went right to Apple TV Plus, sat there for the longest time, and just recently became available to purchase or rent digitally. So before, you had to have Apple TV Plus to watch the film, and now all this time later, you can actually now watch it without having Apple TV Plus. So one thing I find interesting with Apple TV, with Apple's content, some of it's really great content, and I think a lot of people miss out on it because it's very exclusive if you don't have Apple TV Plus. I mean, that could be said, for really anything. Same thing for Netflix, Shudder, Amazon Prime, things of that nature. But I think the one thing with Amazon Prime is typically majority of their stuff you can still purchase and watch necessarily without it. With all these other streaming platforms, you have to have the subscription to watch it. You can't purchase it. You can't purchase a physical copy or anything of that nature. With some of Amazon Prime stuff, you can do that. I think there's only been very few. I can only think of a very small handful of Netflix original content that they actually release on physical media. Same thing with Shudder. Very, very limited things have been released on physical, if any, to be honest. So hopefully with this one, depending upon how it turns out, like The Gorge is another one that we did a review on earlier this year. I thought that was a great film, and while I think it was a great film, I am glad they didn't do necessarily a release to theaters. I don't think it would have done all that well in theaters, but it was still a great film. It was one of those films that was definitely meant for streaming, and I think a lot of people missed out on it and have still missed out on it because it's an Apple TV Plus original. They bought the rights to it and it's sitting there now. So just my take on that. Kate is a mother struggling to make peace with her troubled daughter Claire, a situation that becomes even more perilous when Claire shows up on Kate's doorstep, hysterical and covered in someone else's blood. As Kate pieces together the shocking truth of what happened, she learns just how far a mother will go to try to save her child. And I think that goes without saying. Any mother, I think, would go, I would like to say any mother would go well beyond reasoning to save their child. I won't say every mother because, I mean, you see stories out there on the news and various clips where mothers just don't necessarily care for their children. But I think there's the opposite side of that coin, right? I think there's some mothers who will go well beyond reasoning to do anything to save their child. The gripping thriller is directed by Michael Pierce and written by Brad Inglesby. We have the rest of the cast, some more casting here. We're not going to read all the names off. Ridley Scott produces with Michael Pruss via Scott Free Films alongside Kevin J. Walsh through the Walsh Company and Inglesby. We have the trailer here we're going to watch, and I imagine, yes, this is probably the poster for it. I do really like this poster. I like how it's just transparent, especially when you get down to Sydney's character with the house, the woods behind, but keeping the same coloring between Julianne Moore and Sydney's characters. But again, that blue transparency. Again, I know they have to have the rating on there for whatever reasons. I don't think it needs to be there. Get rid of that nonsense. Get rid of their names. Get rid of an Apple original film. Get rid of the new movie. Just give me the name Echo Valley. Get rid of this, definitely. I think that just looks horrible on here. Just give me the name of the film. Just give me the name of the film. I'm sure you guys all think I sound like a broken record every time we look at a movie poster and I say the exact same things. It's because I feel the exact same way. I don't think all this text and on here does anything for a movie poster. The name of the movie is sufficient. The rest of it is just busyness. It's minutia. It doesn't need to be there. Get rid of it. All right, that's the end of the article. Let's get back to the top. Now let's pull up this trailer and see what they're going to give us.
I need help. Okay, let's get this off.
Are you bleeding? Okay, calm down. Breathe.
You need to be completely honest with me. What happened?
I was with my boyfriend when we started arguing.
Is he okay? But it was an accident.
No.
It was he.
I hit him with a rock.
Did anyone see you?
No.
Okay, go upstairs. And don't leave your bedroom till I come back.
Hello? We need to talk.
About what?
You must be Claire's mom.
Stay away from him, Mom. He's crazy.
Hey, Claire, why would you say that about a close friend?
I'm guessing you haven't heard from Claire.
She showed up here last week.
What did she want?
What does she always want? Money.
She's our daughter.
Our daughter is an addict. She'll show up, put on that smile, and you'll give her anything she wants.
I know what you did. I make one call, and all roads lead back to you.
How are you holding up?
I can't really talk about her.
I'm freaking out right now because I read that bodies float.
What are you doing out here?
Claire, what's going on? What did you do?
Mom, I'm in trouble!
You have a lot, and I want it.
I won't let anything happen to you.
What'd you do?
I took care of it. All of it.
So I think this is going to be an interesting one. Again, it doesn't fall directly. I know many people might see and say, "Hey, that's not a horror film." Again, I don't think every horror film. I think there's various subgenres across the horror spectrum, so to speak, and I think this fits into one of those subgenres. Now, the way this one plays out is, I found it interesting that the daughter showed up to her dad's place. We saw their play out. He said, like a week ago, she's an addict. And it seems like the mother obviously has a soft spot for her child. You know, as the father said, she'll show up, she'll smile, you'll give her what she wants. I'm wondering if this is going to play out in a way where the daughter shows up at the mom's house, as we saw at the beginning of the trailer. She's got blood on her, finds out in one way, shape, or form that someone's dead, she's killed somebody. They tried to dispose of the body, or they try to, and I'm going to touch on that here in a moment. And she told her mom one story. And that story was to try to cover up what she actually truly did. And now this other guy shows up knowing the truth. And obviously they find something there, find the body, because as the trailer goes on, we see the coroners are there, it's all this police presence. So the body may have been found that they tried to put into this lake. And then this other individual seems to be predominant in the first part of the trailer, but then as we get to the end of the trailer, Julianne Moore tells Sydney's character taking care of everything, taking care of all of it. So I'm wondering if she then also takes out this other individual who's there threatening the fact that, hey, I know everything that's going on. I know what you did. But I'm wondering if he's there really telling the truth of what's happened. But Julianne Moore's character is so blinded by the love and wanting to protect her daughter by any means necessary, she takes him out as well. And then that's where we find, hey, I've taken care of everything, all of it. And then the trailer kind of ends. So one of the things I noticed in there was they tried to put the body in this lake and tried to, I don't say drown it, because it's a body at that point. The person's already passed. They're trying to hide the body, I guess we'll put it that way. And then later on the trailer, Sydney's character says, well, bodies float. Well, of course they do. As bodies decompose, they build up gases, and the gases within this body are going to cause it to float. That's why we've seen in other TV series or film. I know there's one in particular. It escapes me. I think it's a TV series. Actually, I think it was again, I can't remember it, but I know there was a film. I want to say Sabotage, the one that David Ayer did. I don't think it's that one, but I do know there is another one. It might have been a TV series where they were disposing of these bodies in a body of water, like a lake, but they wrapped them in barbed wire. So as the bodies were decomposing and releasing gases, it wasn't, the barbed wire would cut open the body as it expanded, and the gas could escape, not allowing the body to float. And in this case, when she's like, oh, bodies can float, I guarantee what was happening was, as the body was decomposing and it was filling with gases, the body was floating to the surface. Someone probably found it or saw it, and that's why we see all this police presence, the coroner's office there at the scene, and someone found the body, right? And then that's how now this story is going to play out, or they have to now figure out how they make sure, because we saw them in a burn barrel, which, if you don't know, like in the Midwest, or even in some places, if you live out in remote areas, they don't have like pickups for your trash, your rubbish, right? Like trash bins, things of that nature. You actually have burn barrels, so you have probably 3 or 4 of them for a bit of ways out from your house, or from anything that could catch fire. You put your trash in there and you burn your trash, and then as your burn barrels fill up, you dispose of the overall barrels, you get new ones, and that you move on. So that's what it seems like was happening here. She had a burn barrel where she was disposing of her clothes and everything. It seems like that's one way that they were probably getting rid of their trash on a daily basis. So she decided, hey, let me burn off my clothes that have any evidence potentially on them, right? So that's what I think is how this film is going to play out. I think the daughter did in fact do it. She's telling her mother one thing. The mother is taking action and continues to take action based on a false narrative. But as far as the body goes, yeah, the body is going to float because of that reason, as I explained. So anyways, June 13th, Apple TV Plus. We'll be checking this one out. I probably will do a fast follower on this one for a spoiler review of the film, because again, not too many people have Apple TV Plus, so I can't imagine this one's going to be seen by a lot of people, and especially if it's getting a very limited theatrical run, I think it'll be even seen by less. So we'll do a spoiler review probably around a week or two after the film drops, just to give enough time for people to see it who want to see it. So drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think about Echo Valley, starring Julianne Moore and Sydney Sweeney. Again, an Apple TV Plus original, dropping on June 13th. Again, drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Also, if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we will see you at the next one. Later.